Hey everybody, this is Arkay, and I'm here to unbox and hang up an Arcade1up PartyCade. This one happens to be Centipede, which includes Millipede and Missile Command. Oh, there it is. Let me just put this over here. Look at that. That Centipede green is calling me. Looking at the literature that comes with it, you get a set in French and Spanish, and you get a set in English. You get the warranty, you get a sheet of safety instructions, you get installation instructions for the different ways that you can install it. It tells you the parts that come with it, the hardware, the feet, how to install it with using the stud mount. Two different ways of either doing a double or a single stud mount. The locking mechanisms, the whole thing. Also for just using the feet to stand it up anywhere on a tabletop, or how to use the brackets to hang it on the back of a door. And of course, there's also the manual for actually operating the game. Folds out, and it shows you the controls for the 3 different games. Mentions the other PartyCade. Be interesting, hopefully, that they're going to do more. And of course, troubleshooting. So they cover everything. This is the styrofoam tray that came in the box at the top. The bag of hardware, the feet for hanging it up, the mounting hardware, the back of the door, whatever. I'm going to be mounting it on the wall. There's the wall I hung it up on. I have space actually to the right of it in case there's another PartyCade that I want to hang there. I ended up using different drywall anchors than what came with it. I used the stud method where I screwed one long screw in the middle into the stud, and then I used 2 anchors for the drywall. I went out and I got the wider, I wish I had one, but I used them, the wider zinc, they screw in the anchors for the drywall. They're just, they're beefier, they're heavier, they're wider, and I use those to hang it up. And it's pretty solid.
So, Arkay, let's talk about your wallcade, your little PartyCade that you put together. I see here you're playing Centipede.
Yeah, you can kind of see me in the reflection. Isn't that scary?
So, how was the PartyCade? To put it up on the wall, I saw you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I talked about it. They give you 3 choices, actually 4 if you count the 2 ways that they have you look for the studs. You can do a single stud or a double stud, wall stud mount. And then they give you anchors with screws. And then, as I explained in the video, I did not, the anchors, I wasn't impressed with them. They were, I don't know, I guess they would work, but, this thing, it's not real heavy, but it's heavy enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I need is to go to bed some night and hear a big cling, because the thing's all that. It's my biggest fear, because it's happened,
Oh, yeah.
So I got these, I had them for the shelves that I hung up in the room, but you've seen these zinc anchors that
Yes.
are wide and they got the screw threads on them. They're big, and
Yeah.
you actually can, you can screw them in, but I use a drill bit, a screw bit on a drill and put them in, and then I have to use a hand screwdriver, a Phillips head, to finish screwing them in. Nothing is going to get those things out of the wall until you want them out, until you unscrew them yourself. So from there, they come with those zinc anchors. Also come with pretty formidable screws, and that's how I hung it up, with 2 of those. And then I found a stud that was right in the middle of where I wanted to hang this, and they give you a very long screw for the stud, and it goes right into the wood, through the wall into the wooden stud. And the thing is up there really solid. And you probably, found out with yours that they give you these two little L-shaped brackets that go underneath that kind of support it, and they go in the wall and they support underneath the bottom of the cabinet. And then there's a small one that kind of swings on top. The whole thing's locked in there pretty good, and it's solid. And I don't have any, qualms about this. It hasn't fallen off yet. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been playing the heck out of this thing. You don't lean on it, like with a regular arcade cabinet, you tend to lean on it and play, kind of like a pinball machine, I guess. Maybe not as much if you're using a joystick or a trackball, but you don't really lean on this. You don't have to. I just sit there and just go to town with the fire buttons and the trackball, and nothing rocks, rattles, moves. It's pretty solid. The other ways are hanging it on the back of a door, which it doesn't work for me. And I'm not really wild about hanging things on doors anyway, especially that heavy, because it can kind of mess up. Opening and closing a door can actually cause it to go a little bit off balance in the hinges. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about that. That's just my thing. Yeah. I don't know. And the other way, of course, is to put the feet. It comes with these 2 feet. But that sort of makes it portable. And I guess if you don't have any place to put it and you want to store it in a closet and take it out and when people come over, but probably you would have those feet on there. And if you really wanted to play this thing, you'd put this away every once in a while. You'd probably leave it out because you want to have access to play it. Yeah. And it does get a little heavy, lugging this thing in and out of a closet, I imagine. So if you get the wall space, I highly recommend it. It's got 4 games on there, and as we all know, it can have 10 games on there. Every once in a while, you have to take a break, and you don't play the games for a while. And with a cabinet, you kind of you got a big piece of furniture you got to vacuum around and stuff. Yep. So this is out of the way, and it allows me to have a lot more space in the room for the table that holds the consoles and everything, which originally my game room was going to be. It was just going to be consoles and tabletops. And then I found this, and I couldn't pass it up because of the price. No. How much did you get this one for? Home Shopping Network, of all places, I've never bought from them or anything, was selling it for $209. Wow. And so I looked around, and it was $300 and higher other places. So this was the lowest price, and it came with 4 games: Centipede, Millipede, Missile Command, and Liberator. And I thought, well, that's not bad, just over $50 for 4 arcade games. And so I went for it. Showed up, it took a week, showed up and sat in a box on the floor for 2 days while I was trying to figure out where exactly I was going to put it and everything. And when I figured it out, that's when I took out the camera, and that's the video. So cool. Yeah. Yeah, these things are pretty nice. They're definitely good for saving space in your room. My Pac-Man PartyCade I have hanging on my wall. It's in a nice, convenient place. I can play it every once in a while, and it's out of the way. It makes it really nice. I kind of wish they'd make more of these, because it's a neat thing to have in your game room. Well, I think PartyCade, Arcade1up must be listening to your videos. At least I hope so, because if a couple of times in your videos, with the Pac-Man PartyCade and with your Star Wars cabinet, you've mentioned that you went out and got black screw caps and covered over the silver screws on, that are on the face of the cabinet in the front around the screen. And I can see one right there on the video. In this one, they're black. So I'm thinking, when I was putting it together, I'm thinking, oh, they're listening to Willie. They're including black. I doubt that, but yeah. So they don't stand out. They're not, shiny. So Arcade1up, if you are listening, I don't like fighting games, and that seems to be the direction where the new machines are going. Never cared for them.
never. That was like getting into the 90s, and things like I don't know, Street Fighter and that stuff. I know they were popular and stuff, but they never really appealed to me. And now that Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaxian, Galaga, Dig Dug. Am I leaving anybody out besides Centipede and Millipede and that stuff? They have been done to death. Let's face it. They are in every size configuration you can find, from, all the different manufacturers right down to the tiny arcades. And I would love to see a Zaxxon license, but I don't see anything by Sega being licensed. And maybe Zaxxon wasn't as popular back in those days because everybody found it really hard to play. It's not. To me, it's a blast. That's my favorite game. And I would love, a Zaxxon. I would love a Berserk, but they don't seem to be licensing from Stearns either, for whatever reason. And I guess it's time for them, they think, to go towards fighting games. And, so anyway.
So how's the trackball feel on this?
Was that too honest? Okay, so the trackball feels great. I mean, I had no trouble with moving the cursor in any direction. Right now you can see me playing Missile Command. It goes in all directions exactly where I want, when I want. I have no problems. I did see a review where somebody said that when they moved it vertically up, it sort of stalled or didn't move as fast or whatever. Oh. It must have been on that machine. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with the trackball in any of the games. What I did notice was, let's face it, this is a scaled-out version. It's not the exact size, even though that's a 17-inch screen and everything. Look at that. It's the end of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Anyway, the trackball is the same size as, like an Atari 5200 trackball or the Coleco roller controller. And I know that in the arcades they were bigger and heavier. Mm-hmm. But, if I compare how many times I've used one of those trackballs to, a home console trackball, I'm very used to using this size trackball. I think to me it looks like the exact same size. No problems with it whatsoever.
Thanks very much.